Good afternoon, Miss Wall's Creative Writing Cardinals. Hopefully, this video finds you well. I just wanted to take this time to walk through our first week of actual class, and that is found in your Canvas homepage, okay, for creative writing. And I came to the homepage, but then I came down to modules. And when I did, this is what popped up. Week 1, January 11th through the 15th, 2021, Foundations of Fiction. I have selected for our first part of the semester to be a focus on fiction, which brings me to your first PowerPoint. Our first PowerPoint deals with identifying the scope of fiction. Your goal statement. Today I wanted you to focus on understanding fiction's purpose, the forms of fiction. These are the reminders and quick thoughts, so just to let you know that at the end of the unit, you'll be expected to upload submissions via Canvas and or to write in the discussion board. So at the end of a class session, there may be some submissions and assignments for you to upload into Canvas. The first question that comes to mind is, why do we tell stories? One of my favorite authors and my former professor, Rick Boyer, writes, fiction rests on the line between experience and imagination. If you ever get the chance, go to the library and check out the Doc Adams Mystery Series. That's what the series of books that Rick Boyer wrote. The warm up. Because of the good work you guys did last week in your group settings where you were analyzing the Department of Public Instruction's language arts reading strands, you guys did such a good job of that. So I wanted to give you a warm up every day on grammar. It's only going to be based on 1 point. And through the week, if you get all 5 of those done, you will get a 100 in the grade book every week. If you only do 4, you'll get a 90. If you do 3, you'll get an 80. If you do 2, you get a 70. And if you do 1, you'll get a 60. Of course, if you don't do any of them, you will get a 50 or below. Right? We'll continue to scroll down, which brings us to our first T chart. On the left-hand side, we have the forms of fiction, and it's just telling you what makes a short story, a regular short story, a novella, and a novel. And on the right-hand side, the 5 narrative modes of writing are dialogue, thought, action, description, and exposition. Sometimes when you do things, you do it with a motive or with a reason in mind. Well, 3 of the motives for writing fiction are private, where you write for pleasure, your own personal pleasure, yet you share it with the world and become famous, like Shonda Rhimes has done by directing Bridgerton, that was written by another author. You may have a commercial motive, meaning you have outer demands. You may want to write advertisements or technical writing. A person who writes the instructions on the back of a medicine bottle. That's also a motive for writing. And then literary motives. This is writing dissertations, papers, essays, research essays, and articles for colleges in college journals. Or, yes, textbooks. So at this time, there is a creative writing Edpuzzle video. You can at least click on the video because I have a copy of it in Canvas. However, it's not going to allow you to do the embedded questions, and that's fine. We will talk about that during class the next day. And so also to go with Mr. Boyer one more time, This is the diagram he drew for all of us back in the good old days. He basically had like a number line. I don't know if you remember in math, but you have the negative side, the positive side, and the zero sits in the middle. Well, according to Mr. Boyer, that's where fiction lies. It's experience on the left, imagination on the right, and as a writer, you have to figure out where you are. So for me, my style of writing, you would think I'd be more here if you know who I am, but the things I write about are more here. They're more exposed to realistic experience with a little bit of embellishment. Here is our vocabulary list. We have the words defined now. So the 5 words that I wrote to you for the narrative mode now have definitions. I hope you will take the time to pause the video to actually watch and write those down. And then finally, get used to this, the plot diagram chart, exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and denouement, aka resolution. So, submission expectations and homework. In Canvas, I want you to complete your warm-up. I want you to take notes from this PowerPoint. I want you to write down your vocabulary words. Number 4, we see that the Edpuzzle is not allowing you to complete it by answering the questions, but I will try to get that fixed for the rest of the week. And then number 5, review the short story Jesus Shaves that's in Google Classroom, and then complete the exit ticket, which was the video on creative writing as well. It's the second video. This one's only 2 minutes. The warm-up due date is tomorrow. Those will always be due the next day just because they're small worksheets from a time when you should already know. And then see how your exit ticket is. Jot down some of the comments that Greg Ledbetter states that stick out to you. It's only a 2-minute video. It will be okay. Next, after that, here's the worksheet. You basically click this link. Please click the link and it will show you a worksheet on common and proper nouns and capitalization. And then next, here's the Edpuzzle creative writing video where you can watch it, but like you said, you can't answer the questions, but you can watch it. And then finally, your exit ticket. And that's clicking this link to see the video, and you add your response here. Jayla, Sarah, and Gloria, and Jamel, Dan, Nicholas, Kofi, Tamaya, Jamariana have already done that. I'm very appreciative. Thank you, students, for doing your assignment. Now, that's all you have to do right now. But if you would like to get ahead, you can go ahead and start reading the 2 short stories that I've already supplied for you. One is called Boys and Girls by Alice Munro. And the next one is entitled Araby. That is your assignment for this week. If you will read these 2 short stories, that would be wonderful. I hope you have no other questions. That is your goal for this week. So expect tomorrow to get some more grammar worksheets, and we are going to review your answers, what you did for today. And then we're going to start talking about Jesus Shaves, and we will talk about characterization and plot and all of the parts of the plot diagram chart. That's our goal for this week. Thank you.